Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something a little different. Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. It's a book that's generated a lot of buzz and, some controversy over the years.
It has, yeah.
And you've sent over some excerpts highlighting some of the, well, I guess you could say the most fascinating and maybe even a little controversial laws from the book.
Right.
So today we're going to try to break these laws down, draw some insights from, well, history and real-life examples to help you understand how these principles have been used and how they might still be relevant in, well, today's world.
Yeah, it's a deep dive into the dynamics of power, exploring tactics and strategies employed by some of history's most influential figures. But it's important to remember that understanding these laws it's not about encouraging manipulation. It's more about gaining insights into how power operates in different contexts.
Okay, so with that said, let's jump right in and let's kick things off with Law 6, court attention at all costs. So what's the essence of this law?
Well, this law emphasizes the importance of standing out, of becoming a magnet for attention. Greene argues that obscurity is a fate worse than death, especially when it comes to power. Think of figures like Mata Hari, the exotic dancer and courtesan. Her dancing, while perhaps not technically brilliant, captivated audiences because she cultivated this aura of mystery around herself.
So it's not just about raw talent or skill, but about creating a persona, an image that draws people in.
Exactly. It's about mastering the art of presentation, of creating a spectacle that commands attention. In a way, this law has become even more relevant in, today's digital age,
right,
with social media platforms and the constant quest for online visibility.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It's almost like the game has shifted from the royal courts to the court of public opinion online.
Precisely. Now let's move on to Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit.
Okay, this one sounds a bit ethically ambiguous.
It certainly raises some questions about fairness and collaboration, but the core principles about leveraging the skills and efforts of others to achieve your own goals, while ensuring that you're the one who ultimately reaps the rewards and the recognition. Greene uses the example of Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla. Tesla, a brilliant inventor in his own right, worked on developing the alternating current system, or AC, a groundbreaking technology that revolutionized the way we use electricity.
But didn't Edison end up taking much of the credit for Tesla's work?
Unfortunately, yes. Edison, a master of self-promotion and a shrewd businessman, overshadowed Tesla's contributions, capitalizing on the AC system's success while Tesla remained largely in the shadows. It's a classic example of how this law can be used to exploit the talents of others while securing one's own position.
It's a reminder that understanding these laws can also help us identify when they're being used against us, right?
Absolutely. Being aware of these tactics can empower you to to protect your own interests and your own work. Now let's delve into Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim.
Okay, this one seems a bit counterintuitive. Can you elaborate?
Sure, it's about recognizing the power of strategic kindness, a well-timed gesture of generosity, or an act of apparent honesty can lower people's defenses, making them more susceptible to your influence. Think back to Count Lustig, the con man we mentioned earlier. He'd often use a gesture of honesty, a small act of kindness, to lull his victims into a false sense of security before unveiling his elaborate schemes.
So it's like using kindness as a form of camouflage, a way to mask your true intentions.
Precisely. Now let's move on to a related law, Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude.
Okay, this one sounds like it's straight out of a negotiation handbook.
In a way, it is. The core principle here is to understand that people are inherently motivated by self-interest when you're asking for help. Appealing to someone's sense of mercy or gratitude is often less effective than showing them how helping you will benefit them directly. Greene uses the example of a Corinthian ambassador who failed to secure Athens's support because he appealed to their past favors and their sense of obligation. He failed to highlight how supporting Corinth would serve Athens' own interests, leading to his plea falling on deaf ears.
So it's not about guilt tripping or relying on past favors. It's about framing your request in a way that aligns with the other person's goals or desires.
Exactly. Understanding what motivates people, their desires and their fears, can be a powerful tool in any interaction, not just when asking for help.
Let's move on to Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. This one sounds a bit like something out of a spy thriller.
It does have a certain clandestine air to it, doesn't it? But the core principle is about the importance of gathering information, of being aware of what your rivals and competitors are doing. It's not necessarily about espionage in the literal sense. It's more about being observant, asking the right questions, and understanding the dynamics within your field.
So it's more about strategic information gathering, like understanding your competitors' strengths and weaknesses, their strategies and their potential moves.
Precisely. It's about staying informed
Yeah.
and anticipating potential challenges or opportunities.
This makes me think about how important networking and building relationships can be in any profession. You never know where valuable information might come from.
That's a great point. Now let's talk about Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous.
Okay, this one seems counterintuitive. Wouldn't a fortress, metaphorically speaking, provide safety and security?
Well, while it might seem that way, Green argues that isolating yourself actually makes you more vulnerable by building walls around yourself, by cutting yourself off from others. You limit your access to information. You create a single point of failure, and you make yourself an easy target.
He uses the example of Qin Shi Huangdi, the first emperor of China.
Right. He was obsessed with his own security and built this elaborate palace
Okay.
to protect himself. But this isolation ultimately led to his downfall. He became disconnected from the realities of his empire, vulnerable to court intrigue, and ultimately lost control.
It's a reminder that building alliances, cultivating networks, and staying connected to the world around you is essential for maintaining power and influence.
Exactly. Strength often lies in numbers and in the diversity of perspectives and support you can gather.
Let's move on to Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. This one seems like common sense, but I'm guessing there's more to it than meets the eye.
There is. While it might seem obvious, Green emphasizes the importance of understanding individual motivations and personalities, particularly when navigating the world of power. He illustrates this law with the story of an art dealer who, in a moment of frustration, insulted a customer who seemed unimportant at the time.
What happened? Did the customer come back to seek revenge?
In a way, yes. The customer, who later became a wealthy and influential figure, used his newfound power to turn his entire social circle against the art dealer, effectively ruining his reputation and his business. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of underestimating people and the importance of treating everyone with a certain level of respect, regardless of their perceived status or power.
You never know who might hold the keys to your success or your downfall. All right, let's move on to Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. This one sounds a bit ominous.
It does have a slightly darker edge to it, doesn't it? But at its core, this law is about understanding people's vulnerabilities, their weaknesses, their insecurities, and their hidden desires. Green argues that everyone has a thumbscrew, a pressure point that, when applied correctly, can give you leverage and influence over them.
So it's about understanding what makes people tick, what motivates them, and what they fear. It seems like this knowledge could be used for both good and bad.
Absolutely. It's a tool that can be wielded for manipulation and control, but it can also be used to motivate, to inspire, and to help people overcome their limitations. It all depends on your intentions and how you choose to use this knowledge.
Okay, let's move on to Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. This one sounds like a confidence booster.
It's about understanding the power of self-belief and projecting an aura of confidence and authority. Green argues that people are naturally drawn to those who exude self-assurance, who carry themselves with with dignity and grace. He cites Christopher Columbus as an example. When seeking funding for his voyages, Columbus approached Queen Isabella of Spain with the confidence of a man who had already discovered the New World, even though he hadn't. This self-assured demeanor played a role in securing the Queen's support.
So it's about believing in yourself.
Right.
And your vision, even if others haven't caught on yet.
Exactly. It's about projecting that inner confidence outward, inspiring trust and respect in those around you.
This law makes me think of those entrepreneurs who pitch their ideas with such conviction and passion that investors can't help but buy into their vision.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge.
Okay, this one sounds like it's about letting go of envy and resentment.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that fixating on what you lack, what you can't control, can be detrimental. Green suggests that instead of dwelling on what you cannot have, you should focus your energy on what you can achieve, on what you can create.
So it's about channeling your energy wisely, not letting yourself get bogged down by things outside of your control.
Precisely. It's a powerful message about moving on and focusing on what's within your grasp.
Let's talk about Law 37, create compelling spectacles. This one seems particularly relevant in today's visually driven world.
It is. Green argues that humans are inherently visual creatures. We're drawn to spectacle, to grand gestures, to things that capture our imagination and evoke strong emotions. He tells the story of Dr. Reislitter, a charlatan, who used elaborate displays of moonlight therapy to attract huge crowds and build a following.
It's amazing how a well-crafted spectacle can persuade and captivate, isn't it?
Absolutely. Think about the elaborate ceremonies and displays of power throughout history, from coronations to military parades. They all tap into this fundamental human fascination with spectacle.
Right. Let's move on to Law 40. Despise the free lunch. This one seems like it's about maintaining your independence and avoiding hidden obligations.
Exactly. Green cautions against the allure of free things, pointing out that there are often hidden strings attached, obligations you might not anticipate. He suggests that it's often wiser to pay your own way, to maintain your autonomy, and to avoid becoming indebted to others.
So it's about recognizing that that nothing is truly free. There's always a cost, whether it's hidden or upfront.
Precisely. It's about being discerning, weighing the potential costs and benefits, and making choices that align with your own values and your long-term goals.
Let's talk about Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes.
This one is about recognizing the challenges of following the footsteps of a legend, of trying to live up to the legacy of a powerful predecessor.
It sounds like it's more of a warning than a rule.
It is, in a sense. Green argues that succeeding a legendary figure can be a double-edged sword. You inherit the benefits of their legacy, but you also inherit the burden of their expectations. He uses the example of Louis XV, who inherited the throne from his powerful grandfather, Louis XIV.
But Louis XV wasn't exactly known for his strong leadership, was he?
No. He squandered the resources and the power that his grandfather had accumulated, failing to live up to the legacy of the Sun King. It's a reminder that trying to fill the shoes of a great leader can be an insurmountable challenge. It's often better to forge your own path, to create your own legacy, rather than trying to imitate someone else's.
That's a great insight. Okay, let's dive into Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop.
This law highlights the importance of knowing when to
stop.
When to consolidate your gains and when to avoid overreaching.
Sounds like a lesson in moderation and self-control.
It is. Green uses the example of Cyrus the Great, the founder of the Persian Empire. After a series of stunning victories, Cyrus overextended himself in a campaign against nomadic tribes and suffered a crushing defeat, ending his life on the battlefield. It's a reminder that even the most brilliant strategists can fall prey to their own ambition, to that desire to push just a little bit further, achieve just a little bit more.
It's like that gambler who keeps raising the stakes even when they're winning. Eventually, their luck runs out.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that sometimes. The greatest victory lies in knowing when to walk away.
Let's finish this part with Law 48. Assume formlessness.
This law encourages adaptability and fluidity, the ability to change and adapt to circumstances. Green argues that rigidity makes you brittle, while adaptability allows you to bend without breaking.
He uses the example of Japan, a nation that has historically adapted to foreign influences, while maintaining its core identity.
Precisely. Japan has a long history of absorbing and integrating elements of other cultures, from Buddhism to Western technology, while still preserving its own unique traditions and values. It's a powerful example of how formlessness, the ability to adapt and evolve, can be a source of strength and resilience.
This is a great place to wrap up part one of our deep dive into the 48 Laws of Power.
We've explored a range of laws, from the importance of courting attention and leveraging the work of others, to the dangers of isolation, the power of strategic kindness, and the need for adaptability. As we move into the next set of laws, you'll notice some recurring themes: the importance of perception, the strategic use of emotions, and the delicate dance between revealing and concealing your true intentions.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these laws often seem to contradict each other. Like we talked about the importance of courting attention. Now we're going to delve into Law 3, conceal your intentions. How do these two ideas coexist?
That's a great observation. It's all about balance and timing. You need to know when to step into the spotlight and when to operate behind the scenes. Concealing your intentions is about creating a sense of mystery, keeping others guessing about your next move. It's a strategy often employed in warfare, where deception and misdirection can be crucial for victory.
So it's like a game of chess, where you need to anticipate your opponent's moves while masking your own strategy.
Precisely. Think of Otto von Bismarck, the Prussian statesman who orchestrated the unification of Germany in the 19th century. He was a master of concealing his intentions, often manipulating rival factions and playing them against each other to achieve his...
He was a master of realpolitik, wasn't he? Prioritizing pragmatism and strategy over...
ideology.
Exactly. Bismarck understood that power is often a game of maneuver and manipulation, and that concealing your intentions is key to staying one step.
This makes me think about high-stakes negotiations, where revealing your hand too early could weaken your...
That's a great analogy. It's like a poker game, where you want to project confidence while keeping your true intentions hidden. Okay, let's talk about Law 28, interaction with boldness. This seems to contradict the previous law about concealing intentions. Is it about being bold in your actions but concealing the reasons behind them?
That's one way to interpret it. Law 28 emphasizes the importance of taking decisive action, of making a strong impression, and of projecting confidence. It's about seizing opportunities and taking calculated risks. Think about a billiard ball being struck with force. It obliterates any hesitation or doubt, leaving a clear and decisive impact.
Green uses the example of Pietro Ortino, a 16th century writer who wanted to make a name for himself. He wasn't afraid to ruffle feathers, was he?
Not at all. He wrote a series of satirical poems that were so scandalous. They made him infamous overnight. Ortino understood that boldness, even if controversial, could catapult him into the spotlight.
It's almost like he used controversy as a springboard for his career.
Exactly. He knew that by challenging conventions and pushing boundaries, he could attract attention and establish himself as a force to be reckoned with.
This law makes me think of those entrepreneurs who disrupt entire industries with their bold ideas and their willingness to take
risks. That's a perfect example. Boldness is often associated with
innovation,
with breaking free from the status quo and forging a new path.
Okay, let's dive into Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. This one seems a bit contradictory. How can you think independently while conforming to social norms?
It's about recognizing the importance of blending in, of not attracting unnecessary attention or scrutiny while you're working on your own agenda. Think of it as a strategy of camouflage. You appear to conform to social expectations, but beneath the surface, you're thinking differently, strategizing and plotting your next move.
Green uses the example of Li Qi, a Chinese courtesan from the 4th century.
Right. She was incredibly intelligent and ambitious, but knew that openly displaying her intellect would be frowned upon in a society that valued female subservience. She played the role of the charming and submissive courtesan while secretly gathering information, understanding power dynamics, and subtly influencing those around her.
It's like playing a double game. Outwardly conforming while secretly working your own.
Exactly. And it proved to be an effective strategy. She eventually became one of the most powerful and influential women in the kingdom.
This law makes me think of undercover agents who infiltrate criminal organizations. They have to blend in with the culture, even if they personally find it reprehensible, in order to gather information and achieve their
objective. It's a great analogy. It highlights the fact that sometimes you need to play a role to conform outwardly in order to achieve a greater goal.
Okay. Let's talk about Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. This seems especially relevant in today's rapidly changing world.
It is. This law highlights the delicate balance between embracing progress and respecting tradition. Green argues that while change is inevitable, it's crucial to implement it gradually in a way that doesn't disrupt the established order too dramatically.
So it's like you're saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can embrace new ideas without completely dismantling existing systems.
And exactly, Green uses the example of Oliver Cromwell, the English military and political leader who led the parliamentarian victory in the English Civil War. He was a radical reformer who sought to establish a republic, but he ultimately failed because he tried to change too much too quickly, alienating those who might have supported a more gradual approach.
He underestimated the resistance to change, the attachment people have to
familiar situations. Exactly, and it's a common pitfall for reformers throughout history. They have a vision for a better future, but they fail to appreciate the importance of pacing, of bringing people along gradually.
This makes me think of companies that try to rebrand themselves.
Right.
They introduce new products or services. They need to find a way to balance innovation with familiarity, appealing to their existing customer base while also attracting new customers.
That's a great point. It's about understanding your audience and knowing how to introduce change in a way that feels both exciting and
reassuring. Let's talk about Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. This one sounds a bit ruthless.
This is a law about understanding the dynamics of leadership and group cohesion. Green argues that a group's power often hinges on the strength and authority of its
leader.
Remove the leader, and the followers will become disoriented and vulnerable, making it easier to dismantle the entire.
It's like removing the keystone from a arch. The whole structure collapsed.
Exactly. Louis XIV, the Sun King of France, understood this principle. Well, he was master of centralizing power, keeping potential rivals under his control and preventing them from forming alliances that could threaten his rule.
His lavish palace at Versailles wasn't just a display of wealth. It was also a strategic move to keep the nobility close, to monitor their activity, and to prevent them from forming alliances against him.
It was a brilliant strategy for maintaining control.
This makes me think of those corporate takeovers, where the acquiring company often replaces the top executives of the acquired company
with their own people. Exactly. It's about establishing control by removing the existing leadership and installing those who are loyal to the new regime.
Okay, let's delve into a law that seems a bit Cynical law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Are you suggesting that we
shouldn't
trust friends?
Not necessarily, but Green is arguing for a more pragmatic approach to relationships, especially in the context of power. He suggests that friends, because they often have access to our vulnerabilities and our secrets, can sometimes pose a greater threat than enemies.
He uses the example of Michael III, the Byzantine emperor, who was assassinated by his close friend, Basil.
Right. Michael had showered Basil with favors and promotions, but Basil's ambition ultimately outweighed his loyalty, leading to a betrayal that cost Michael his life.
It's a reminder that even in close friendships, self-interest can sometimes trump.
Exactly. And Green also suggests that enemies can be useful. They force us to be more alert, more strategic,
and
resourceful.
They challenge us and keep us on our toes.
This makes you think of those political rivalries where each side is constantly trying to outmaneuver the other. It's almost like a game of chess with each player anticipating their opponent's moves and trying to stay one step ahead. That's a great analogy, and it highlights the fact that power dynamics are often fluid, with alliances shifting and changing based on perceived advantages and disadvantages.
Okay, let's talk about Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. This one seems particularly relevant in today's world of online debates and social media. Arguments?
It is. This law emphasizes the importance of letting your actions speak louder than your words. Green argues that winning an argument rarely changes people's minds or behaviors, and it often creates resentment and
animosity. He suggests that actions are more persuasive,
more tangible,
and more difficult to
pursue. Exactly. Actions demonstrate your competence, your commitment, and your ability to get things done. Green uses the example of Michelangelo, who was commissioned by Pope Julius II to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. The Pope was constantly interfering with Michelangelo's work, offering unsolicited advice and criticizing his work.
Michelangelo could have easily argued with the Pope, defending his artistic vision. But he chose a different...
Instead of engaging in arguments, Michelangelo cleverly played along with the Pope's suggestions, making minor adjustments to appease him, while ultimately staying true to his own artistic vision. The result, of course, was one of the most celebrated masterpieces in Western
art. It's a perfect example of how actions can speak louder than words. Michelangelo proved his genius through his work, not through arguing with his patron.
Exactly. And this law applies to many areas of life. Think of those leaders who inspire others through their actions, through their dedication, their hard work, and their commitment to their vision. They don't need to engage in endless debates or try to convince others through words. Their actions speak for
themselves. All right. Let's move on to a law that seems a bit extreme. Law 15, crush your enemy. Totally. Is Green suggesting that we should be ruthless and unforgiving?
This law is undoubtedly one of the more ruthless ones in Green's book. He argues that a wounded or partially defeated enemy is more likely to seek revenge, plotting against you and becoming a persistent thorn in your side. It's better, he suggests, to completely eliminate...
That's threat. It's like, that's saying, if you strike at a king, you must kill him.
Precisely. Green used the example of the Romans, who were known for their ruthlessness in warfare. They understood that a defeated enemy could easily regroup and return to attack them again. So they made a practice of completely destroying their enemies' cities, enslaving their populations, and scattering their remnants to prevent them from posing any further threat.
It's a brutal approach, but it certainly achieved its goal.
The Roman Empire lasted for... Of course, this law should be applied with caution and ethical consideration in the context of modern business or personal relationships. It's not about literally crushing your opponents, but about understanding the importance of being decisive and thorough in dealing with conflicts or challenges.
So it's about recognizing that half measures can sometimes backfire, creating more problems in the long run.
Exactly. It's about being strategic and assertive in protecting your interests.
Let's talk about Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. This one seems counterintuitive. Wouldn't being present, being visible, make you more respected?
It might seem that way, but Green argues that scarcity creates value by making yourself less available, by strategically withdrawing from certain situations or relationships. You can actually increase your perceived value.
They make others crave your credit.
He compares it to the law of supply and demand. The rarer something is, the more valuable it is.
'Cause-
Exactly. And Green uses the example of Louis XIV, who, despite being the most powerful monarch in Europe, understood the importance of making himself scarce. He wouldn't attend every court function or social gathering, creating a sense of anticipation and
Right.
making others feel privileged to be in his presence.
It's almost like he created a mystique around himself
Yeah.
by not being constantly available.
Precisely. And this law applies to many areas of life, not just royal courts. Think about those celebrities who are notoriously private and reclusive. Their scarcity often increases their allure and their public.
Fascination. It's a reminder that sometimes less is more.
Right.
By holding back, by strategically withdrawing, you can actually increase your power and influence. Okay, let's explore Law 23. Concentrate your forces. This sounds like a military strategy.
It is, in a sense. Green argues that power is about focus, about directing your energy and resources towards a single, well-defined goal, spreading yourself too thin, trying to be all things to all people, will ultimately weaken your position.
He uses the analogy of a magnifying glass, focusing the sun's rays to create a point of intense heat that can ignite a fire.
Exactly. You need to similarly concentrate your forces in order to achieve maximum impact. He uses the example of the Rothschild banking dynasty, who built a vast financial empire by focusing their efforts on a specific niche, international finance. See, they didn't try to be everything to everyone. They specialized, and that specialization gave them a competitive edge.
They also understood the importance of family. Unity of keeping their resources and knowledge within the family.
They maintain their dominance.
Exactly. It's about leveraging your strengths and focusing your efforts where you can have the greatest impact. This law makes me think of those companies that achieve success by focusing on a specific product or service, becoming the best in their niche, rather than trying to be a jack of all trades.
It's a great analogy. It's about finding your unique advantage and concentrating your efforts on exploiting that advantage to the fullest.
Let's move on to Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. This one sounds like it's about navigating the complexities of social dynamics.
Hierarchies. Yeah. It is. This law is about understanding the subtle art of navigating hierarchies, of knowing how to those in positions of power while also maintaining your own dignity and autonomy.
It sounds like a delicate balancing act.
It is. A true courtier, according to Green, is a master of social intelligence, adept at reading people, understanding unspoken rules, and adapting their behavior to fit the situation. He cites Baldassare Castiglione, the author of the Book of the Courtier, as an example. Castiglione emphasized the importance of sprezzatura, the art of making everything you do seem effortless and natural, even if it requires a great deal of effort behind the scenes.
So it's about presenting a polished and
effortless
facade. Even if you're working hard behind the scenes to achieve that.
Exactly. Think about those people who are incredibly socially adept. They can navigate different social circles effortlessly. They can charm anyone, and they always seem to know the right thing to say at the right time.
It's a valuable skill in any field, not just in royal courts.
Absolutely. Understanding the nuances of social interaction can help you build relationships, influence others, and
Okay, let's talk about Law 25. Recreate yourself. This one sounds like a journey of self-discovery.
It is, in a way. Green argues that we are not defined by our past, by our stances, or by the roles that society assigns to us. We have the power to reinvent ourselves, to forge a new identity that is more aligned with our ambitions and
desires. So it's about taking control of your narrative, shaping your own destiny.
Precisely. He uses the example of Julius Caesar, who transformed himself from a relatively minor aristocratic figure into one of the most powerful and influential figures in Roman history. He cultivated his public image, honed his oratory skills, and demonstrated his military prowess, creating an aura of greatness and authority that captivated the Roman people.
It's an inspiring example of how we can overcome our limitations and
create.
The life
it's a reminder that we are not bound by our past or by the expectations of others. We have the power to shape our own mode.
Let's delve into Law 26. Keep your hands clean. This seems like it's about avoiding scandal and maintaining a reputation.
It is, to a certain extent. Green argues that in the realm of power, appearances are often more important than reality. Even if you engage in morally questionable actions, you need to maintain a public image of virtue. And
Ikemi compares it to stagecraft, where you might play a villainous role, but you need to make sure the audience sees you as the hero.
Exactly. Green uses the example of the Borgia family, who in Renaissance Italy were notorious for their ruthlessness and their willingness to use any means necessary to achieve their goal.
But they were also known for their piety and their patronage of the arts.
Right. They cultivated relationships with powerful religious figures and used their wealth to support the church, creating a facade of piety and religious devotion that masked their darker deeds.
It's a classic example of the disconnect between public persona and
Exactly. And it's a reminder that in the world of power, perception can often trump
reality.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. This one sounds a bit manipulative, doesn't it?
It can.
But it's also about understanding the human need for meaning, for belonging, and for a sense of purpose. People are naturally drawn to charismatic figures who offer them a vision of a better world, a sense of hope, and a feeling of
unity. Green uses the example of P.T. Barnum, the master showman. He understood how to create spectacles that captured the public's imagination, didn't he?
He did. Barnum was a master of hype, of storytelling, and of appealing to people's sense of wonder and curiosity. He created a world of fantasy and entertainment that drew people in and made them believe in the this law makes me think of those charismatic religious leaders or cock figures who attract followers by offering them a sense of
belonging,
a promise of
salvation,
or of a vision of a utopian future.
It's about understanding the power of belief, of tapping into people's deepest desires and offering them something that fulfills those desires, even if it's based on illusion or
deception.
Okay, let's move on to a law that seems universally applicable. Law 29, plan all the way to the end.
This law emphasizes the
importance
of strategic thinking, of anticipating obstacles and challenges, and of developing a plan that takes you all the way to your desired.
Wow. So it's about thinking ahead, having a roadmap, and anticipating potential detours or roadblocks. Precisely. Green uses the example of the Spanish conquistadors who set out to conquer the New World. They were driven by ambition, but they also had a clear plan, a strategy for the conquest that involved establishing alliances, exploiting rivalries, and using their superior technology to their
advantage.
They understood that success required more than just brute force. They needed a strategic plan and the capabilities to support their ambition.
And this law applies to any endeavor, whether it's launching a business, writing a book, or achieving a personal goal. Having a clear plan and anticipating challenges and developing contingency plans can significantly increase your chances of success.
Let's talk about Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. This one sounds like it's about the art of presentation, of making even the most challenging tasks appear easy. And it is. Green argues that people are more impressed by those who make things look effortless, who exude a sense of grace and ease, even when they're dealing with complex or demanding situation.
So it's about concealing the effort, the hard work.
That's
goes to
achieving something remarkable.
Exactly. He uses the example of the 17th century French playwright, Jean Racine, who was known for the elegance and simplicity of his writing style. His plays were incredibly complex and nuanced, but they flowed effortlessly, almost like a natural conversation.
Yes, he achieved this effect through years of practice, honing his craft, revising and refining his work until it seemed effortless and spontaneous.
It makes me think of those athletes or performers who make their skills look so
easy, natural.
That we forget the years of training and discipline that went into developing those
abilities.
It's about concealing the sweat and toil, the struggles and setbacks that are often part of the journey to success. Let the finished product, the polished performance speak for it.
Basically, it's about presenting a facade of mastery and effortless achievement.
Okay. Let's move on to Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. This sounds like it's about setting the terms of engagement, about creating a situation where you hold all the advantages.
This law is about limiting the choices available to others, subtly guiding them towards the outcome. Desire. It's about creating the illusion of choice while ensuring that all paths lead to your desired destination.
Green uses the example of a 16th century French King Francis III, who wanted to keep a powerful, the Constable de Bourbon under his control.
Right. Francis presented the constable with a seemingly generous offer, the governorship of Milan, but the offer was a trap. Accepting it would force the constable to leave France, weakening his position and making him more dependent on the king's favor.
So it was a choice that wasn't really a choice, no matter what the constable decided. He would end up in a position that benefited the king.
Exactly. It's a subtle but effective form of manipulation. Think about those situations where you're presented with a limited set of options, where the choice is already framed in a way that benefits the person presenting those options.
This makes me think of those contracts or agreements where the fine print is designed to favor one party over the other.
That's a great example. It's about understanding that choices are often presented within a specific context, a frame that shapes our perceptions and influences our decisions.
Okay, let's talk about Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. This one sounds like it's about appealing to people's desires and aspirations, about tapping into their emotional.
It is. Green argues that people are more easily swayed by emotions than by logic. He suggests that by tapping into their fantasies, their hopes, their fears, you can create a powerful connection and influence the
behavior. He uses the example of those who sell dreams, the purveyors of miracle cures, get rich quick schemes, or utopian visions.
They understand that people are often desperate for hope, for solutions to their problems, for a better future. By offering them a glimpse of that better future. But by playing to their fantasies, they can gain their trust and their loyalty.
This makes me think of those charismatic leaders who inspire their followers with grand visions of a brighter future, promising change, progress, or even
exactly. And it's not always about deception or manipulation. Sometimes it's about understanding what motivates people, what inspires them, and what gives them
hope. Let's move on to Law 35, Master the Art of Timing. This seems like a universal principle, applicable to many areas of life.
It is. Green argues that timing is crucial in any endeavor. Knowing when to act, when to season opportunity, and when to withdraw can be the difference between success and failure. He suggests that there are different types of time, each with its own rhythm, opportunities. There's forced time, where you create a sense of urgency, pushing others to make a decision.
So it's like creating a deadline, a sense of pressure that forces people to act.
Exactly. And then there's end time, the moment when a situation reaches its climax, when the stakes are highest, and when decisive action is given.
Think about those moments in negotiations or in conflicts where the outcome hangs in the balance, where one decisive move can determine the winner and the loser.
So it's a reminder that timing is crucial, that recognizing the right moment to act can be the key to success.
Okay, let's talk about Law 43, work on the hearts and minds of others. This one sounds like it's about the importance of persuasion, of winning people over to your side.
It is. Green argues that true power lies not in forcing your will upon others, but in persuading them to embrace your ideas, to support your goals, and to see the world through your lens.
So it's about winning hearts and minds, about appealing to both emotions and logic.
Exactly. He uses the example of seduction, arguing that a successful seducer doesn't force their affections on the other person. They create a connection. They build rapport. They make the other person feel understood.
It's about creating a sense of shared goals and values, building a connecting that makes people want to follow your lead.
This makes me think of those leaders who inspire their followers through their vision, their passion, and their ability to connect with people on an emotional level. They understand that true power comes not from coercion,
but from persuasion.
All right, let's delve into Law 44: disarm and infuriate with the mirror. Effect. This one sounds a bit mysterious. What's the mirror effect?
It's about reflecting back to others their own behavior, their own
values,
their own beliefs as a way to disarm them or to expose their hypocrisy by mirroring their actions. You can make them see themselves more clearly, often revealing their flaws or inconsistencies.
So it's like holding up a mirror to their soul, making them confront their own
shortcomings. Exactly. Yeah. Green uses the example of Alcibiades, an Athenian general and politician who was known for his charm, intelligence, and his ability to manipulate others when dealing with those who were arrogant or self-righteous. He would often mirror their behavior, exaggerating their
mannerisms
and echoing their pronouncements, making them appear ridiculous and undermining their authority.
It's a clever strategy for exposing hypocrisy and
dishonor
your opponents.
Of course, this law should be used with caution. It can be a powerful tool for exposing hypocrisy and disarming your opponents, but it can also backfire if used too aggressively.
Okay, let's talk about Law 46: never appear to. Perfect. This one seems counterintuitive. Shouldn't we strive for perfection
while striving for excellence is admirable? Green argues that appearing to perfect can be a strategic disadvantage. It can make you seem unapproachable, intimidating, and even suspicious. People are often wary of those who seem too good to be.
He suggested it's often wiser to reveal a minor flaw, a small imperfection, to make yourself seem more human, relatable.
Exactly. It's about creating a sense of vulnerability, a hint of imperfection that makes you seem more accessible and less threatening. Think about those leaders who are willing to admit their mistakes, to acknowledge their weaknesses, to show their human.
It often makes them seem more authentic and trustworthy.
Exactly. It's about understanding that perfection is often an illusion, and that embracing our imperfections can actually make us more appealing and more influential.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. We've reached the end of our deep dive into Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the strategies and tactics used by some of history's most
powerful
figures.
Remember, understanding these laws is not about condoning manipulation or
unethical
behavior.
It's about gaining insights into the dynamics of power, recognizing the subtle forces at play in human.
It's about becoming more aware of how power operates, both in ourselves and in others, so we can navigate the complexities of human relationships
more
effectively.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and
thought-provoking.
Until next time,
keep exploring, keep learning,
and keep questioning the world around.
You keep questioning the world around.